Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. This is Phelan again with the Taylorsville Road Church of Christ here in Louisville, Kentucky. Coming to you again with another dose of encouragement on this morning. I hope that you're doing well, and I hope that today's message will comfort you and give you a peace of mind that surpasses all understanding on this morning. And we're going to be coming from the book of Exodus on this morning, chapter 14. We're going to be looking at verses 24 through 31. And my hopes and my aim is to help free you from the land of Egypt. Free you from the land of Egypt and bring you through the Red Sea on to the other side where safety is. Now, I can't do that myself, but with God's help, that can happen. And I'm just only an agent representing my Lord to help make this possible. And what I mean by bringing you out of Egypt and through the Red Sea is I want to help you free yourself from those things, those things that have been entrapping you and has become a snare to you in your life. Those things that have been oppressing you and hurting you, and those evil things that have been pursuing you. We want to help you to get rid of those things, and so that you can look forward to a life of peace. Now, let us go ahead and read the book of Exodus, chapter 14, and let's read verses 24 through 31. So it says, "Now it came to pass in the morning watch that the Lord looked down upon the army of the Egyptians through the pillar of fire and cloud, and he troubled the army of the Egyptians. And he took off their chariot wheels, so that they drove them with difficulty. And the Egyptians said, Let us flee from the face of Israel, for the Lord fights for them against the Egyptians. Then the Lord said to Moses, Stretch out your hand over the sea, that the waters may come back upon the Egyptians on their chariots and on their horsemen. And Moses stretched out his hand over the sea. And when the morning appeared, the sea returned to its full depth, while the Egyptians were fleeing into it. So the Lord overthrew the Egyptians in the midst of the sea. Then the waters returned and covered the chariots, the horsemen, and all the army of Pharaoh that came into the sea after them. Not so much as one of them remained, but the children of Israel had walked on dry land in the midst of the sea, and the waters were a wall to them on their right hand and on their left. So the Lord saved Israel that day out of the hand of the Egyptians, and Israel saw the Egyptians dead on the seashore. Thus Israel saw the great work which the Lord had done in Egypt. So the people feared the Lord and believed the Lord and his servant Moses." Now, again, background before I get into my word of encouragement. Background: we have the Israelites who have been enslaved for generations in Egypt, and God has raised up a servant by the name of Moses to be their deliverer, not in the ultimate sense, but in the micro sense. And so He's used Moses to free Israel out of Egypt. Egypt is representative of sin, of bondage, of slavery. And for us, Egypt is the thing that has held us captive in this life, those things that has made us slaves to it, and ultimately that is sin. And before I get into all of that, but let me continue to give you the background. So Moses has taken them out of Egypt, and he has brought them to the Red Sea. And as they get to the Red Sea, as they approach the Red Sea, we have the bondage pursuing them, the representative of bondage pursuing them, hoping to make them captive again. And so Egypt is continuing to pursue them, and they are worried. They have anxiety. They think that they've come out here to this wilderness to die. They don't think that God is about to deliver them, and ultimately God does deliver them. Um, Even as they are crossing the sea, God is destroying the enemy. And so let me get into my words of encouragement on this morning, because I really want you guys to really hear this, and I hope that you take this message and it's a blessing to your life. When God is delivering you from those things that have been holding you captive, those things that have kept you in bondage, understand this one thing: God will be destroying the enemy while He is saving you. And a lot of people cannot understand that. They can't grip that because they expect God to destroy the enemy before they're saved. But let me tell you once again, you have to understand that God sometimes is going to destroy your enemy while He is saving you. So you're going to be still dealing with part of that bondage and part of that slavery and snare while you're being delivered. And understand that's a part of the process, because God needs to needs you to see the great work that He's performing. And for all of you, and that's even with Christians, unbelievers and believers all together, we're all dealing with something that is keeping us enslaved, that is holding us in bondage. And today, I want you guys to understand that today can be your exodus. Today can be the day that you are delivered from what you have been oppressed by. Those things that have been hurting you, those things that have been pressing up against your soul and your spirit. And you don't have to allow those things to oppress you any longer. You need to let God be your deliverer. And God may deliver you through somebody or something. So you need to recognize when God is trying to deliver you. Some of us, like the Israelites, we want to go back to Egypt because we're so used to what we're being oppressed and enslaved by, that we can't let go of Egypt. But let me tell you guys, let go of Egypt and get through the Red Sea. Let God deliver you, even on today. Let God put away those things that are pressing you, those things that are pursuing you, that thing that's hurting you. Be delivered today. And again, before I leave off, understand that sometimes when God is delivering you, you're going to have to still feel a little bit of the oppression, of the hurt, of the pain that has been pursuing you, that has been holding you captive. As we see in the verses that we just read, while God was delivering the Israelites, He was destroying the enemy. It's not always going to be God destroying your enemy first and then you're delivered. Sometimes your deliverance has to come right along with the destruction of the thing that's pursuing you. You might feel a little pain for a little while, but eventually you'll get through the Red Sea. And as we see in the passages, your enemy will be destroyed by the time you get over it. So I hope you guys have been blessed by this. I may not have said the words that you need to hear. You can read between the lines, but I hope that God blesses you and that you are delivered today in some way. If you need to be baptized for the remission of your sins, you can reach out to us at the Taylorsville Road Church of Christ at any time. If you need a deliverance from something that has just been oppressing you lately, you need the prayers of the saints to help you through some trying times, please feel free to reach out. Never be too proud to open up and let somebody know when you need some help. Too often we have too much pride to let people know when we're dealing with something. Some things are meant to be kept within yourself. Everybody doesn't need to know, but spiritually speaking, if you want to get to heaven and you're dealing with something, you need to let it be known. Don't feel ashamed because we all are sinners. We all fall short. We all are in need of grace, and we're all here to help one another. We're just frail human beings, and we need God's help. Even a sinner can help another sinner. So I hope this message was a blessing. You guys take care and God bless.